Tomorrow, I'm turning 25, so I'm getting older now. So tomorrow you'll definitely see a picture up there.
Well, you know what? I hope you had a great Kobe year. I hope you had a great
Oh,
24, baby.
I definitely. I can't complain, man. I'm grateful. You know how it is. Some people
Hmm.
don't even make it to our age, man.
Yeah, and you know what? That is what we got. That is real. And a lot of people, we feel like we have a lot of time, right? A lot of us, move around through life like we got all the fucking time in the world,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
we need to
You're
realize that is so it's so limited. It's so
Oh, yeah.
limited, but we often spend too much time worried about what's going to happen in the future and what we need to do or what we got to do, or we spend a lot of time in the past, reflecting,
Yep.
or not even so much reflecting is okay, but more so about, oh, I didn't do this, or this happened and that, and spending a lot of our thought process and emotions on the past and the future like that, rather than just being present and creating today and making the most out of today, saying, you know what, I'm gonna do the content, I'm just gonna start it today, I'm gonna do this, I'm just gonna do it today. And but when you think so far in the future and you live so much in the past, that shit can cripple you. So I say
Oh,
that to
definitely.
tell everybody in the chat, be real conscious on how you think, because we are habitual creatures, and sometimes we don't realize the patterns that are in our life. But if you feel like the same cycles are happening, the same shit keep happening over and over, you keep getting the same placings, you keep losing the same fights or whatever it may be, you got to ask yourself, what is my habits, man? What is the same shit I'm doing every day when I'm waking up every 24? What's popping?
Yeah,
So
no, that's like it starts also like Gears of War, like sleep schedules. Like a lot
oh
of people, like I'm not gonna lie. There was a point in time like I was going to sleep like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. like almost every
mm-hmm.
day, and I'll wake up and I'm feeling like shit. Like first grams, like
waking up when, Yachty?
waking up, huh? Like 3, 4 in the afternoon. That'll be that'll be the good morning, literally. That would
Oh
be the
man, what your
yeah.
girl say about that?
Listen, man, it's not a good thing. I'm trying to change it up because you just wake up like foggy, like you're in a fog,
Yeah.
like, and that's something also like I've been trying to change and work out a little bit more as well. And just stick to something different than what I'm used to. Like you were saying earlier, like it's the same routine and you see like results, and it could be like gears related, but also in life too. Like
Mm-hmm.
every day. I for 2020, I have a lot of goals and a lot of things I want to accomplish. When it comes to gears, and also like I'm starting my own clothing line too, really
Nice.
soon.
Ooh.
And
Congrats.
yeah, and that's something I've been working on to like set my mind, um, like off gears sometimes. Like to work on something else on the side that is gonna make me happy. So yeah.
That's pretty cool. You know what? I wish you best on that. And the sleep schedule stuff, that's so important, because even for me, like I live the gamer's lifestyle of grinding all day, low food, living on Xbox Live with my homies. That's where my life was for years. It was on Xbox Live. So I've had the that shitty gamer sleep schedule.
Yep.
And especially like towards last year, I was realizing, I was like, all right, I was always up to like 2, 4 a.m. I would sleep, and then I was consistently just waking up afternoon. And at one point, I just started to feel like crap, like my whole morning was gone. My whole morning was gone. All that sunshine was gone. And then, your daily routine and the start of your day is so important. And we
Oh,
don't
it
we
is.
don't we don't realize that enough. Like, so like on a good day for me, if I'm waking up, this is an ideal day. Ideally, I would like to be up around 5:30 a.m. Okay. I want to get up. I don't even want to look at my phone to start the day. I just want to
A,
be with me. You
a
know,
little too early for me, but you know.
but yeah, but this is ideal, right? But I want to be able to just get up, get moving, get my coffee going. If I want to meditate, then I can meditate, because when it comes down to meditation, that is how you take tension off the brain and off the body. Because when we wake up in the morning, we fire off the same muscles every day, and when we don't understand how to move through the world and how to deal with stress through just speaking through vibrations, through sound, just getting stress out of our body, then the stress stores up in our muscles. It stores up in our
Yeah.
body, and then that's when you start to get sore, you start to get aches, because sometimes, we're very passionate people, and when we go, we just go. And for me, most of my life, when I was just getting up to start my day, it's like, all right, I gotta, go kill it here, I gotta go hit the gym, I gotta go do all these things, and I didn't care so
Yeah.
much about the effect it was on my body. I just needed to do the task. I just needed to wake up and get it
Yeah.
done. And so I wasn't so, towards the end of 2018, you guys have seen my transformation, but towards the end
Oh
of
yeah. It's
2018, I was
yeah.
just
It's
like, my
crazy.
body was so locked up. I was so inflamed. Like, I had people saying, oh, you look good. You just thick, all this other stuff. But I knew that I wasn't feeling the
Yeah.
best that I could. I knew that I felt like, I was saying shit like, oh, my good years are behind me. I remember back in the day I was doing this. Back in the day I used to wall bounce. I used to be able to deadlift all this. And I'm just like, I ain't even 30 yet. So I had to really put it under focus and, get that morning routine down packed, because if you can get all of that done before your first task, before you got to get to work, before your scrims start, then you hop in there
Yeah.
and you ready to go. Like, it's a whole different perception. And just being able to, reflect on the day and ask yourself, this is what I want to accomplish. This is my goals for the day, and this is what I'm gonna do. And you go out there and you attack the world.
What's crazy about what you're saying about that? There's sometimes that even though like I have, I guess you could say the luxury of working from home, there's sometimes that I wish like I would have to travel to like a particular place to play and scrim and and work from there
Yep.
because sometimes I just want to get out of my house. And that's what I was telling you about like the whole working out thing is like that's also like if you fit that in your schedule, you're leaving the house, you're stretching, like you're going outside, you're pumping, you know, uh or oxygen to your brain, you're gonna perform a lot better.
Yeah.
So like it's just like everything just becomes so stagnant sometimes, like with esports that I've noticed too that it's not it produced more negativity in my life than positive, and then I had to switch it up
Yeah.
as well.
And
And
so
Yeah.
I could, yeah, I could speak a lot on that, because I went from, having to be up at 5, 6 a.m. every day and go. I used to be a chef. I was executive chef, Guy Spencer, and I had a nursing home, a staff of 80, and then I got, all these residents and people, patients in the hospital to feed. So I used to be up and going, up and going. And when I, went to esports, I always had to, keep it in the right frame of mind. And I'm extremely blessed, because now I get
yeah,
to kind of go from this, working at home type of schedule. And that's
yeah,
super awesome. But most of my life, I had no issue waking up for somebody else, going up to get into somebody else's time and get into their job. I had no issues with that. I
yeah,
will go party all night, sleep for 2 hours, and get up on somebody else's time and go make that money, because I had to. But when I
yeah,
was on my own time and I had to was working from home, like, it's nice having to go to, all the events and stuff. But on a weekly schedule, you having to forcefully put that structure in your life yourself is fucking hard
Oh,
sometimes,
it's gonna go insane.
especially if you didn't have that discipline growing up, and granted, our parents did the best that they could with the tools in which they had. But if you
yeah.
didn't have that structure growing up, to wake up for your own goals sometimes can be difficult unless you're really passionate about what you want to do. So I feel what you're saying on that, Yachty. And
Yeah.
it's hard, but we got to do it, right? And you got to ask yourself, okay, why is it that I'm not waking up at this time, or what is it? And it just comes down to you making sure that you know what your purpose is every day. What are you working towards? And when you are doing what you really love to do, your body will wake up. You will get up and get going at it. But that's super important for a lot of the gamers out there who just kind of go to school and they scrim. Find that anchor, right? And that's what you're kind of talking about. You want that anchor, that
Yep.
9 to 5 anchor, for you to kind of build around. But creating an anchor on your own can be
It,
challenging.
yeah, no, it is because like I said, like the amount of time that like I thought about it, I really thought about it. The amount of time I spent sleeping is the amount of time I could be making money or thinking
Mm-hmm.
of or thinking of something else that is more productive than what I'm doing because I have so much time. There's some people that don't sleep, that
Yeah,
literally workaholics, and I feel like I'm young, and being a workaholic could be negative as well,
it
but at
can be.
least it can be, but at the same time I'm young and I have to be able to be out there and wake up early and do more things that I'm doing right now. And I feel like for me, like I told you, the things I've been working on, I've been like self-reflecting, and a lot of people need to start doing that a lot more, I would say.
Nah, I feel you on that. I definitely do. Being able to, you have to. be able to put yourself under that microscope and get it done. Yeah.
Yeah.
What up, Noe and Great on the call. Yo, we kind of, we
Hi,
kind
bro.
of, we kind of just jumped right into it with that conversation. It was so good. I just wanted to kind of flow with it. I was gonna give us a formal introduction into the hot seat, but all that we just talked about, we're adding that to the mix. So now I'm gonna give the introduction and say, "What's up, everybody? Gears fam, wherever you're watching, Spotify, YouTube, wherever it may be. I appreciate you guys. Episode 8 of the hot seat. As you just heard me and the one and only Sleepytime talking about health, wealth, wellness. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Also, we got MLG Great as well, coach of No Mercy Esports out here, and the one and only Lil Noey, the main slayer. I consider you the main slayer of Hive. Granted, you got some good people out there, and TJ gets it done. All right, even though y'all can't get past Rise in these 2v2 Astro battles, but I'm pretty sure y'all gonna get them in a 5v5. So these are our guests today, and we're gonna be chopping it up about Pro League, teams in the Pro League, and I guess we're gonna be talking too a little bit more about just health, just wealth, wealth and wellness, and and gamers, and how we're starting our day and how we become the best versions of ourselves as well. Noe, Great. Were you guys able to relate with any of that? That we were just talking about.
Yeah, I wake up pretty early, like every day. Like my schedule is like not like a gamer schedule.
Yo, so you get up early off the regular, regardless, because you still got to get to school, right?
Yeah.
But hey,
Enjoy it though.
yo, that's the beauty, right? Yeah, enjoy it. But that's but the one thing is, because I be honest with you, when I was in school, first off, go hard, understand that. Understand your present moment and being in high school and being able to go to college, because those are some of the best years that you can have. And a lot of those experiences you may never get again. My coach used to always tell me, he says, "Hey, play football, because you'll never get a chance to probably play football ever again, or like any sports." And that was so true. Sports in high school, I wish I would have just played more of them, because as I got older, what I felt like I was really shitty on was my kinesthetics, right?
Wait. Your football coach told you that you might never be able to play football again?
Well, most people don't. Like, most people who play high school football will never go and play it in college in the leagues. Like,
Yeah, but that's kind of unmotivating. You don't think?
but I thought I could. Well, I took it on the flip end. I took it as motivating, that this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, and probably that I should play and I should have fun. That's how I perceived it.
For sure.
But that's how it is sometimes, right? And that's a good example of just perception, and how you can say the same words and we can perceive them in two different ways, right?
Absolutely.
And so one thing that Yachty was saying before is that you actually made me kind of remember the one point, was that as he talked about, it's workaholics out there, and it's cool to be a workaholic, but what I want to say is that don't compare yourself too harshly to other people, because we all got things that we do super great and we do super terrible, and it's just all about balance. Right? It's all about understanding you and where you need to get balanced at. Because you could be awesome on a working scale, but be terrible at your personal life, and vice versa.
Oh yeah, like for me, to give you an example as well, like straight out of high school, I went to Buffalo University, and I was
Mm-hmm.
going for electrical engineering, and everything was flourishing like with gears and stuff like that, and I really wanted to focus on gears, so like I gave up school to like pursue Gears Award like full time,
Mm-hmm.
because the way I felt is like, I have the credits aren't going anywhere, and my passion and heart is for gears, so
Yep.
I felt like school was always going to be there, and I was devoting all my time with esports, because I see it like, okay, Gears of War is one thing, but I am now like, to all my family members, to all my friends, they could say, yo, I have a professional gamer as a friend, like
Yes.
that was never a thing in life, like I remember going like to NJ Halos, like small tournaments, local tournaments,
Where I
and
met
I,
you.
yeah, exactly. That's what that's where we met each other. So it's like I've been competing, since 2007, and I never thought like this will blow up as big as it would. I had a lot of great opportunities. I worked for like Chips Ahoy. I've done stuff with them.
Mm-hmm.
The whole TBS thing. It's all good things
Those
you
are
could put on your,
awesome.
yeah, everything you could put on your resume, like, oh, I've worked for this person, like, it's just building yourself along the way, but through the beauty of esports, so I feel like I've done a lot of decisions like in my life, but I think that overall it's been like a positive outlook in my life overall.
That's so dope, and you should have a positive outlook on it. Growing up, us growing up, people had a lot of negative connotations on gaming, right? And what a gamer is and what they're doing. Oh, you just gonna be in esports for a little bit. It ain't gonna last too long. You better have a fucking career at the end of it to go do something, right? You better have your options ready because this is only temporary. What I've realized over the last few years is that this is be as long as you make it. This could be as long as you want it to be. The MLG guys is a great example. I remember just back in the day, going to those events and like, okay, this is like a cool little thing to go for. But, in the end, I still got to go cook and do all this other stuff. I never have a career in this. And, years later, they were still running events. And they were still going and people were watching and the scene was growing. And it was like, oh my God, well, what happened? And 10 years later, I end up getting a job working in esports. And I was like, wow. But the crazy part is that even when I still started working in esports, I still had this mentality that, oh, this is only like a gig for 2 years here. Oh, this is only a gig for like here and there. But it was a negative mentality for me personally, because I was so much worried about the ending of it all, rather than being great in the moment currently of it all and enjoying it and being awesome at it.
Just to add to that guy, like think about Justin.tv. You remember that?
Yep.
Oh,
I remember. Listen, and what is that today? Twitch, pretty
Twitch
much.
TV. Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
Yo, listen. All right, it is the same thing, right? So back then, I used to hear about this, like Justin TV, and I'm like, I didn't really pay no mind to it at all. I downplayed it. I'm like, I'm not gonna stream on that platform. That's where Ninja came from.
Yep.
Right? He devoted all his time starting there, and then it led to Twitch, and then look at him making millions of dollars a year. So it definitely
the ones that took it seriously, and you can still look at that to this day. The ones that took it seriously and said that, you know what, I'm gonna make a career in esports, or I'm gonna do something in gaming, and they devoted their time and attention to it. They survived. And a lot of those guys people was making fun of back in the day, or be like, oh, look at them and here and there, and they are the ones that are still here and are surviving. Okay, because they said, I don't care about what people got to say. I don't care about what other people's opinion are. I'm super passionate about this, and I'm going to just follow my passion. And you can never go wrong doing that, because your passion don't got to be the same as everybody else's, and everybody else don't got to understand your passion either.
No, seriously. Like for me, like there's people that come to my house and I'm in the middle of the scrim and they hear me yelling. They don't understand. They probably think I'm crazy. Like, yo, why is this guy calling out like that? I'm calling out like that. I'm like, one shot.
They're like, what is he doing?
What is he doing?
But the thing with and
I feel
Yanni
sorry
touched
for
on
her. Sorry.
Mhm.
They just
Yanni touched on this a little bit. It's like we were doing it before people understood that we were like what we were doing. And like, for example, like I live in New Jersey, right? And my parents wouldn't let me go to MLG Meadowlands.
That
It's
sucks.
like, what? Like I was able to go one day, and then they wouldn't drive me back the other 2 days. And I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, what am I doing this weekend? So part of it for me growing up was literally like sticking it to them to prove to them that it could be something. And I mean, that would definitely played a crucial role over the years. But also,
it did.
It's like I went to college. I mean, I didn't want to go to college, but I went because that was what was expected of me.
Yep.
And then over time, I ended up switching into game design and development. And I don't think that would have happened had it not been for esports, but I specifically Gears.
Yeah, but switching and going into game development, that made you happy, right? That was
I mean, I'm not a math guy, so like I wasn't going to graduate with a finance.
yeah, exactly, right. And so you went that route. And I had something kind of similar on my end too as well, because I would say that when I was in high school, what grade you in?
Man, I'm in my junior year.
Junior year, so perfect. When I was in my junior year, when I was Noey's age, so MLG had these little online tournaments, and I used to skip school. I used to go a half a day skip, go hop in the Annex King of the Hill, start warming up my shot, and get ready for the matches that night, because I really wanted to win. And online tournaments was all that we had, and I wanted to be the best, and I knew everybody else was at home practicing, so I just wanted to get better. Forget going to football practice, that's where I went. And so my last 2 years was kind of split going to high school and really playing Gears a lot, that's just because you couldn't tell me anything different. I was hard headed, and I was like, I'm going home to fucking practice, and that's what I did. So those years, I just got my GED and I went to culinary school because I was like, what I wanted to do. I didn't need my high school diploma. I got my GED. I played Gears, went to culinary school. I graduated from there. But for me, I said that for all the shit that I put my moms through and the skipping school and all this other stuff, that I really want to be successful in it, to show her that I was really passionate about this, and this is what my passion equated to. So I'm really blessed to still kind of be in the esports. And she looks back on it now, and she's just like, okay, it all worked out. You know, it all worked out. You know, he knew what he really loved, and he knew what he wanted to do, and he went out there and he chased it. So, you know, it's
She about to see you on the TV.
you know, I hope so. You know, my moms have never been to my esports event. None of my family has ever been to any of my esports event, from even when I was playing or going to events and casting. This has really been like a solo journey in my life. And it's crazy because
my mom came to Orlando.
Did she?
Oh, 09.
How did she like it?
Yeah. I mean, I was with Legacy then. Like when she met Ribs is her favorite person. That
Ribs is everybody's favorite person.
Yeah, I love Ribs.
Obama.
Every time I go to an event, my mom's like, "Tell Ribs tell Jordan I say what up," and I'm like, "I will."
Noey, has your parents got a chance to come to your events?
They want to, but they really haven't had time yet.
Oh, so you didn't? It's been just a solo mission for you too, huh?
Yeah, I've been like traveling more and all that.
How do you want them to come play, or do you feel like if they was there, it'd make you play, it'd make you a little bit more nervous?
I don't think I would be nervous.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
I want them to come to Mexico with me, but they just can't.
Yeah. Well, I hope they do get out to the event, because I will say that I see a lot of players, out there passionate about esports, and they're playing and they work hard. And if your family can come out there and enjoy something and show you that love and what you love to do, by all means invite them. I think that's something that's really cool. And I love Gears as like a family event, because it kind of is, like we know a lot of players' parents. They come, they have a great time, and it is that like type of atmosphere in the venue. So I need to, one day I get them out there, but because this is the kind of became my life. And I will say I wasn't ashamed of esports back in the day, but it was just a private section of my life.
I hate it.
You say
school.
You say you hated it?
No, I didn't know. Hell no. No, I hid it from people that I went to high school with.
Same here.
No, I at one particular time, like, it was private for me as well. Like, growing up, it was more like the stereotype of it all. Like, oh, you're just a gamer. Like, all you do is play video games all day at home. People didn't understand it, and it used to piss me off a lot, because like, they didn't understand that I loved it. But now that they see me doing all these things, and they see my accomplishments, now they want to be proud.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's like, I don't know, it's a weird feeling but I could understand, because it's just like traditional, like, life. Like, everybody's goes to college, you become a doctor, a lawyer, whatever the case may be, but I chose to be a gamer.
Yeah. Don't hold a negative opinion though. Just don't keep it. But I understand how you got there though, because I feel
the same thing with my mom. Like, at first, when I first started, she didn't really believe in me or anything like that, because my older brother, he's the one that got me into like competing. He went to one tournament at first, and he got like last place. He got destroyed, literally. And I wanted to be just like my brother. And I told my mom I wanted to go to an event, and I actually ended up going to like an NJ Halo and won $220.
Hey.
And I brought that back home.
Back in the day, that was a lot of money, just so we know.
Yeah, that was like, what? Listen, I bought a whole bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I'll tell you that. I remember I bought Yu-Gi-Oh cards and I think a pair of sneakers or something like that. But it was just funny to me, because like everything just changes. But overall, like, esports, everybody knows, like, now, like, even with Fortnite blowing up, like, you can make a lot of money, and have a lot of.
It's cool now, right? Like, people are respecting it.
It is.
And you know what? I'm very thankful for the generation that came up right below me too, because they kind of really grew up in the internet and that content creation, and I feel like that generation is more on the lively side. They follow their passions, and they're less judgmental from the place that I came in my generation. Get on the internet. So I but also as I got to know that, I learned to kind of speak to the audience that relates to me, speak to the people that rock with me, rather than even thinking about the people who don't. You know, it's all about kind of the perception, what you put it in, and how you talk to your audience, because it's gonna always be haters out there. That's it, right? It's gonna always be It's gonna always be some negative people out there with some negative opinions. But the thing is that you honestly just don't give them energy, and that shit will die off eventually, right? Let them say they can talk all year long, and then you be like, hey man, that's kind of weird, bro. I'm just on your mind like that. Like why you keep like why you don't got nothing else better to do in your day? Like you don't have anything that you're doing in your life where you just gotta talk about me all damn day. Like what's up, dude? Can you need a hug? Nowadays I flip the script. I'd be like, yo, can I just give you a hug? I see you talking shit about me, but I would love to, just show you some good vibes.
For real, man.
We need more. We need to be more loving out there.
Yeah, what's up?
I won a 2v2 NJ Halo tournament with Nunez. I think it was the first one I ever won. And when we took the photo and Rod took the photo, Ant would not let me touch the money.
What? You're gonna have to clip this section and send it to him after this.
No, he knows. He knows this. Every time I send him the photo, I remind him of it.
I think I remember too. Go ahead.
The money from which event?
No, this is an NJ Halo 2v2 tournament. We're holding up I couldn't even tell you, maybe $150 in cash, and we go to take the photo, and I'm like, yo, give me my half. And he's like, no. In the photo, he's literally holding all of it. I gotta find the photo.
Bring that up, yeah. So that's what's up. That's a good little chat. So everybody, when it came down to today's episode, one of the things that I originally wanted to talk about, and which we can kind of slide into now, was more so I want to talk about pro league and how you guys experience has been in the league so far. I know Yadi, you're more so you're forming a team now, and you guys are making one. Y'all announced 2 of y'all players last night.
Yeah.
Zerp and Jerp is on the squad, and so it's just the 3 of you guys now, correct?
No, so basically, it was me, Crash,
Kyle?
Isaac.
Okay.
Well, that was the Gods team from San Diego, but we broke up after that event. So it's more like in 2020, a rebuilding process right now, and it started with Crash and Rezik, and we were like trying out some young guns, some amateur players, like in the sense of like just talent wise.
Yeah.
And we got the opportunity to work with Jerp and Zerp, and when that offer came our way, we took it immediately. And we only been a team for like a week and a half, but we have a lot of time to prepare for Mexico, which is like our biggest like goal.
Yeah.
We aren't in the pro league right now. And it's been like 3 years, and since I've always been like consistently placing like top 3, in grand finals, even winning a championship. So it's more like just the rebuilding process, and like I'm confident in this team, and you'll definitely see us in the summer pro league for sure.
Yeah. No, I hope so. Get you guys in that spring quarter. I will say that the roster is a good one. You, Rezik, Crash, Zerting, Jerp. I feel like that when it comes down to talent, aggressiveness, shotgun skill, Lancer, marksmanship, being able to support your teammates. I feel like you guys got a great combo. Just make sure that you guys discuss what's your team's identity, because y'all, I feel like with the players that you got, y'all can have multiple different play styles or whatever. But I think that for your roster, if I had to give an opinion, that the structure and an anchor should be teamwork and being there for your teammates, and that you guys can play every role.
I would agree with you, because I feel like this team, we could do it all. We're really well balanced, and also we have Zerp, which is he's the Slayer. Like this guy could do crazy ass shit, and he has like our leadership, like our experience, and our teamwork would definitely fall in line when it comes to Mexico. But we just have to keep practicing and keep going. We're a part of Rebel Esports right now.
Yeah.
That's the new home, and we're just doing our thing, and hopefully make them really proud come Mexico.
Nice. Well, I talked to Rezik. I gotta get Rezik on Gears Unlimited since he out here on the West Coast, and maybe he could chop it up with me before going to the event and give me another update on you guys' roster. And so that'd be pretty cool. Noey. So Noey, Hive back again. North American Bravo Division. Top 4 in San Diego as well. Out here, y'all hit a good side of the bracket too, but a little bit too much on that. How was kind of San Diego for you? Hive as a roster. playing there, and post San Diego getting ready for the pro league again.
San Diego was fun. We started off like really like bad on Friday. But, like I think like once we played EU's finest, something just like clicked, and the rest of the tournament we were really good. Except when we played Astral, of course, we got
Yeah.
shit on against them.
No, exactly. Y'all look good. Y'all look good most of the tournament. I was happy to watch y'all play because even seeing you guys grow from throughout Gears 4 into kind of that position. The pieces is there. Jeff. He looks like a great leader. You Tidy, TJ, y'all get it done. And I know it's one more player I'm missing off the
Demise.
and yeah, and Demise, Demise with his lovely Botox plays and headshots that he loves making and putting on the show for
Yeah.
folks. A modern day McCree, as I'll say. but now you guys are there getting ready for pro league. So what especially you guys y'all kind of lost a straw there. But how's this your experience been being in a pro league? What's been the highs and what's been the lows of it for your squad?
It's been good other than like I miss playing 2Ks. Like, I hate
2Ks?
only playing one match on Sunday. I feel
Oh,
like I'm like never playing the
you
game.
like going through the whole bracket style of play?
Yeah, like I feel like I'm never playing the game competitively, really.
Really?
Yeah, it's like really nothing to play other than like the emergence day and like the one match on Sunday.
So yeah, so y'all scrim all week, and then you guys scrim to just go play one of the same teams in your division. Because the
Yeah.
divisions really didn't get shaken up. So well this time y'all got the most shake. Y'all got the biggest shake
Yeah, we
up.
got
Y'all
two
got
new
two new
teams.
teams. So y'all got No Mercy and Parallax in there with Mazer. Mazer's gonna be good comp, so that's still good. But the other two teams, we saw them on the pro league, and they gotta get better. They gotta get better. Great, I'm looking at you too, y'all boys.
Well, for the specifically for the match against Mazer, I mean, we found out that we were in the pro league like 4 days before we were supposed to play them. So I would say a big piece of that was just blatantly being unprepared. I wouldn't say that anybody's nervous, right?
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people also think that like either we had something to do with it or we were being annoying, but like we were on standby for like 2 days when we found out Simplicity was
Oh yeah.
broken up, right? Like we at no
I
point
can agree
were
on
we,
that.
like, yeah, I mean, at no point were we like, oh, like this spot belongs to us. Like, let's start preparing. No, we were actually preparing to play in like another qualifier, right? So we got third in the second, in the double elimination. We lost in the losers bracket finals, and then so that would have, I believe, given us the first seed in whatever qualifying tournament that they would have done after that, whether it be 4 teams or 6. So we were really more preparing for that, and then we get an email saying that because we had the highest seed in the open bracket that they were just going to move us up. But the one thing that I am still questioning is if we took their slot and they were I don't know if they're listed by seed or not, but they had the second slot in NA Bravo. Wouldn't that have well, why did we just take their place, right? Why didn't everybody move?
So you
Because
say
they weren't regulated.
So no, are you saying that you guys took the specific second spot in NA Bravo?
I believe so. The way that I was looking at the schedule, it seems that way.
Well, I will. So first off, I know I can say that I know that you guys were kind of waiting on standby. You guys wasn't sure if you guys were getting in or not. So if people believe that y'all had anything to do with that, that's null and void. But then on the flip end is that you guys got bumped in because you guys were kind of like next on the list. But Simplicity, once they disbanded, they just kind of disbanded. They had bad timing on their disband. They probably could have honestly kept their spot in the league if they would have just had a little. No, they 100% could have if they would have just waited probably like a day or so. They could have kept their core 3 and they could have probably still been playing. But I think they just really just broke up.
Yeah, they could have picked up 2 players and they would have kept their spot 100%. But everybody just went like their own separate ways, I'm pretty sure.
And then during that period of time too, after the second qualifier, Dom went to go try to reconcile like his old Hydra squad from Boston, and we were also looking for a 5th. So then we get the email and it said that we have to play with the team we qualified with. Now we don't mind. I mean, I'm not like saying that we were thinking about any roster changes, but at the time we weren't a set 5 and we weren't that set 5. And also prior to the first qualifier, we had a teammate who decided he was quitting the game forever, and I'm not talking about Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
So then we picked up Dom the night before, or I don't know, within 48 hours of us playing that Swiss bracket. So like this is not a like long-standing roster that we're working with here, and we definitely were not fully prepared to play Mazer. Now, I mean, mind you, I don't know how the next couple weeks are going to look like, but I think that the next couple weeks are definitely going to be a shaping period, and it is super. I mean, this is a blessing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was essentially a gift that we're in the pro league in the first place.
Yep.
And from here now we're doing a lot of tweaking, right? We got to figure out who's going to be playing what spawns, how we're going to counter certain rotations. I mean, we're literally getting practice as hard as we possibly can because there's no expectation from any of us that we're going to be winning, at least as of right now.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We want to, we have the drive to, and we definitely have the skill to individually, but we need to grow as a team first.
Yep, exactly. And
That's respectable.
Yeah, and you got and that's good that you guys have acknowledged that and you guys got that set up and understood, because one thing is that I want every team to be able to do is, get a game plan down, get a plan of action. What type of squad you're going to be. What's your goals going into this week to that week? What do you want to work on this map? Progressively getting better on a weekly basis, and not just going to go play y'all matches, not really talking about it, and then just scrimming and just going into it, like progressively getting better and being held accountable for y'all mistakes. And that's just week 1 of the Pro League. You guys got 6 weeks, and you guys are in one of the best positions to get that practice for Mexico.
Absolutely. And at the end of the day, let's say worst case scenario, right? So best case scenario, we play very well and we end up getting a bye in the championship bracket in Mexico, right? That's best case scenario. Worst case scenario, we got to play one of these AM teams. And I've been watching these AM teams. They are good, man. They are good.
And you can get more of the Mexican ones too.
Absolutely. And at San Diego, I mean, we got same thing. We lost in the first round of the championship bracket, but that was more disappointing. I feel like now these teams that are in the amateur or the open bracket are definitely contenders. And with San Diego, a lot of teams didn't get visas, right? So the competition, I'm not saying the competition wasn't there. There were plenty of good teams, right? But we were missing a large portion of the LATAM community.
Man, I'm going to tell it to you like this, man. With that crowd and the people that's there and 8 teams coming from the open bracket, imagine if like 6 of those 18 was LATAM teams going into the single elimination. All I got to say is that y'all better be ready to play round 1. Don't come out slow, because they don't be out there playing for life-changing money. Like everything is on the line. Like, yo, I just traveled 2 days to get here. I'm about to put this work in. Don't come out there half-assing, because y'all will not leave Mexico with all parts of yourselves. Okay, you might lose half your soul.
Listen, Mexico is, the energy is unmatched. I would never forget this. I think
this will be my first Mexico.
Oh, it is nice.
No, listen, man. You don't even need to get a kill. You could just wall bounce and throw a smoke. The crowd is gonna go crazy. Like, it's ridiculous. I don't know what it is, bro, but they love Gears of War, bro. It's like the Super Bowl. Like I always say this, like every time you get a 2-piece, 3-piece, like and they see it, bro, you hear the raw, like you hear the rumbling, like everything's just shaking, man. Like I don't know, like it's just crazy, bro. I love Mexico. I'm so excited to go back.
I love feeding off that energy. It's so dope, you guys. It really is. It's definitely experience. Somebody asked me today, I think the GM of Mazer asked me, he said, Blaze, do I go to Texas? Do I go to Mexico? I said, bro, Mexico is where you want to go to.
100%.
Mexico is like the Super Bowl. Yeah. And we are all going to be a part of that experience, rather if you just in the crowd playing whatever. Bring that energy and turn up. Cheer for your friends. Find somebody to cheer for and have fun with it. Because I love that type of experience. And Mexico is one of the main places we get to get that.
Another thing that I love about Mexico, they're not afraid to be fans, like, or supporters. They'll come up to you, they take a picture with you, like they want your autograph. Like it really means a lot to them. Like when we're out there and we're doing what we love and performing, and
they're like soccer fans, like football fans.
Yeah.
They're legit. Yeah. They're legit fans. They say, hey, I love esports. I love this team. They find a team that they love and they cheer. They make it so fun. They make it so meaningful. And they watch Gears. And I wish we just had more of that in the States. But I feel like we are getting there. Culturally, nobody wants to, people to see them being excited for some shit. Nobody wants to be seen uncool culturally. them cheering for their team or their friends and stuff, or clapping. That's what I always love Fallout. Because Fallout, he brings the energy and he don't give a fuck what anybody else think. Fallout gonna go out there and turn up.
Nah,
He gonna go turn up.
He'll pick up 2 chairs literally.
Liz, you just got 5 gifted subs, brother.
Yo, yo, thank you for calling it out. Because I was gonna have to say something. Much love to the homie, too energetic, one of the best Gears players I know. Fire Squad all day. And I tell it to you like this: if I was still competing, energetic is on my team. Energetic is on my team because he rivals, like, when it comes down to players that I've teamed with. He reminds me of Kenny when I first started playing with Kenny. Mechanically, he is so gifted. He is so smart. You need anybody. He will lock down a home hill with an overkill and destroy a whole team. I got to give you the plug.
People sleep on the overkill.
No, like, people don't understand. Like, too energetic. He is the highest re-up. What's your re-up right now? Put it in the chat. He's probably like re-up 22 or re-up 30.
Is that bodied? Is that bodied? The clip he got that one time, is it the same guy? Energetics?
Yeah, it gotta be. It gotta be. But nobody understands Gears. When you at 21st re-up and you play every section of Gears, you understand it at a different level and you move differently. Okay, so that's one of those players that might not be competing in the scene, that's really talented and nobody know about. And people don't know how to go scouting. I wish people was better at scouting talent out there, because there's a lot of good players out there. You just got to be like, hey, you want to come scrim? Hey, you want to just come play? You guys just try some stuff out, because y'all keep playing with the same people and keep getting the same results and wondering why.
You have to.
Sounds like Gringo Jr.'s life story.
Same people, same results. I love Junior. Much shout out to him. I'm happy that he's back there. I'm happy that he's back playing. We
gotta get him on a team, yeah.
Yeah, no, we definitely do, yo. Play with Gringo, okay? Yeah, that boy been gaming for real since he was young. Very few players have done that.
It's really nice to see him back.
I was so happy to see his dad. I was so happy to see his dad there.
At San Diego.
But yeah, because when we were gaming, when I was back in 2007, they were there at every event. And so it's awesome seeing people from that era of Gears and come back to it. And they come back to it and they feel like, wow. Like they come to it with this perception of, damn, it's still going. Like, this feels like home. I'm back. These are the good vibes that we used to experience, and they're still here. We can still get the same experience 12 years later, especially when they thought it was over. Yeah,
and I'm sure Yachty can relate to this too. Ryan tweeted it out, and it's basically that he has that old school Gears mentality, and I'm sure Yachty does also, where it's like the newer generation of Gears players have a much different competitive mentality than the older guys do. Like, the older guys are willing to grow with the team over time.
Yep.
Right now, I see roster changes literally every week, and I used to get really upset about the roster restrictions. Now, mind you, that is how we got in the pro league. But they're now I totally understand why they're there, because my TL is just filled with FA. I can't believe I'm tweeting this out. FA looking for 2.
And Gears 4 is very hard to follow it all.
One thing I would say, I do agree with you, Gray, and one thing I will say to Noey too that I actually respect about Hive too, like, they stuck it out together and they achieved the top 4 placing.
Yes.
Together,
Yo, can we get some flames in the chat and some love for Hive, okay? Because they were on a grind, right? Like, their climb in Gears esports is a very respectable one. And even when people would say stuff about the squad, like, they grinded. Okay, they're top 4 Gears team right now, and Mexico's around the corner.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because, like, before, when I was growing up, I used to always play with Twisted Shots, Sycamore, Supremos.
Yeah.
Those were my guys, and I wouldn't trade them for anything.
That was the key squad for you.
That was my squad. I mean, they moved on, when it came to, like, life, having other priorities, a better job that is consistent with money and stuff like that. But those are the guys I always played with, and people thought they weren't the best, but I always made it to, like, finals. In UE, we went to Burbank, we went to PAX East. We did things together. So, like, with Hive, like, when they stuck together and they did that, that's one thing I did respect about the team overall.
And it's no secret that people were rooting against them.
Oh yeah, 100%. The underdogs, like, that's been the story of my life as well. So I know.
I wouldn't call you an underdog though, Yachty.
No, I one particular time the teams that I'm always on, there's NRG. Back then there was Team Envious. When Ghost first came out, like nobody believed like, oh, these guys maybe they're a one hit wonder, and then
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden we're consistently placing top three, then going 3, 2, 1, and
Yeah.
in Vegas. So it's I wouldn't say I'm completely an underdog, but it's mainly like the team.
Yeah.
No, you definitely
Do
fought
you
for it.
feel
You
like the
fought for
scape?
it.
Do you feel like the scapegoat on the team on the teams that you were on?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I believe that every team that I'm on, I always
You
have like
was.
my team. Yeah, my teammates love me. That's the thing. Like
Okay.
you never hear like a real negative thing like, yo, I hate playing with Yachty. Like I don't like playing with him because I make my teammates enjoy playing with me. Like I'm self accountable. Like if I make mistakes, like I own up to it. And that's a lot of people. Some people always like rebuttal and argue and shit like that, and that's not me.
Mm-hmm.
So I always make it a pleasure, whoever plays with me, that we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna put in the work, and I'm dedicated to the game. That's
Yeah.
that's what it takes, literally.
Nice, nice, nice. And I've always enjoyed watching you as a player. And I don't like me
Yeah,
personally. I don't believe teams need one specific type of player on their roster, right? Rather, if it's super aggressive in your face. Granted, the direction in which how the pace of gears allows for five slayers to be on a roster and they can be successful.
yeah,
Just because of their play style can be kind of suffocating on a game. But having a player who is thoughtful towards the team in and out the game, being able to be there, support Slay, just being more versatile. All teams need that guy.
yeah. No, that's the thing about me. Like I'm overall like well-rounded. I could support Slay. Like I have great communication. I'm always positive. Like I call myself tenacious. No matter what happens, I'm still in the round. Like that's just
Yep.
how I always been. So I try to pass that on also to the teammates I have.
Yeah, and when it comes down to teams that are like Great was mentioning earlier, the different generations of how some people want quick success in a week,
Yeah,
others we were sticking it out back then. I thought for me the hardest thing was not so much in skill, but the best quality was finding a player with the mentality that I had. Because
yeah.
I wanted to be really nerdy. Like
Hunger.
I wanted to look at overhead maps and put dots on Microsoft Paint and talk about rotations, right? Like I would have my stopwatch. Every position I had a stopwatch out. I said, how much time does it take a player to get to top boom tower on gridlock? How long does it take a player to get to boom wall? And how much in middle? We did the timings. Once you knew the timings, you knew where you had to throw your smoke at or your stun, especially on maps like River when we were really playing with fucking knockdowns on
I miss
MLG.
River.
Right.
And
Like that.
so me and
Ragdoll.
Precision, he's Precision, old pro player back in the day. He's in the NBA
Isn't he
2K
pro at
league.
2K right
Yeah,
now?
yeah, he's in the 2K league. He was playing for the Bucks, but me and him used to go in the lobby and we used to really time. Okay, at what distance coming out of spawn do we have to get our smokes on mid bridge for me to get there and get boom and knock down somebody, before we can get back. All right, and those type of little things actually got me top 8 because I got top 8 on River playing LTZ, and it was Wildy that got knocked with that smoke, and I got boom,
LTZ.
and I got boom, and we rushed that tower, and it was a little victory run. My life flashed before my eyes. I was like, Carlitos, please get the kill because I'm shaking. Right, I can't get the last kill. Don't let him clutch up right now in the moment.
Beating on your chest.
Yo,
Wildy
right?
cracks me up.
And he clutched it up. But those were that's the type of player that was very hard to find because once again, people want to be cool. They don't want to sit. They can't. Sometimes it's hard for people to just sit down for 20 minutes and just go over a strat. No matter you can still win events. I'm pretty sure Kenny still has issues with this. All right, and just sit in the lobby and just listen and be like, all right, what can we do and have all 5 players contributing to the rotation, talking about it and adding something to it rather than just being waiting to be told what to do.
But I think now also part of the problem is that, and it doesn't matter what generation of Gears you come from, it's that people will get on Gears the second they have to be on, and then the minute scrims are over or anything's over, they're rushing off to other games.
Netflix and chill.
Now it's okay if you rush off to other games with your teammates, but if you the bonding is super important.
Well, I'm just saying that and it's I feel like I see it on every team is that like
Well, let me. Well,
I
okay.
didn't come here to talk about Gears 5, but
Yeah.
it's just that people would rather be playing.
It's okay. No. We can talk about Gears because the thing is, one thing that I noticed, like playing at that level, is that for me, scrims were what did it for me, right? I was super happy, even getting my ass kicked in scrims and practicing with the team. But once that's over, and once you do that for a bunch of hours, you're like, all right, it's time to go do something else. Like, you can't Gears yourself out because it's 100% possible based off how much fun you're having playing a game. You know,
You're saying that we didn't used to sit in King of the Hill lobbies on Blood Drive for 8 hours and like skip meals without even noticing?
No, we did, but I'm saying that it's hard to do that now. I'm agreeing with you that it's hard to do that now, and I'm saying that just still make sure that you're playing with your teammates and you get that in. But you're right. We did, before we got on Gears, we used to come in, we used to warm up for 2 hours, play with the homies. When scrims was over, we used to kick up the stream, get people in, do customs. Like, we spent a lot of time on the game, you know? You're right. You absolutely right. I will say that even nowadays, like, it's hard for me to have fun without getting in an intense competitive experience, right? Like, that's why I'm so critical about the rank system, and it was giving negative points, because I'm like, if I can't scrim, I want to be playing with diamonds and Onyx players sweating. I want people to feel like they have to go to game chat to communicate. I want to get that experience without having a team, and it's hard for me to do that. So I will say that me personally, I play less because of that. Because, you know, I tweeted last night, I love when the lobby gradually gets sweaty and they start trying.
I saw that.
Yeah, because that gets me excited. And I think it's hard to get that outside of scrim. So, you know, for the hardcore competitive player, playing pubs casually ain't fun. You know?
I liked the leaderboard system in Gears 1 and Gears 2, right? Like, I enjoyed that, and that it wasn't necessarily skill-based matchmaking. Like, if they're going to be doing a skill-based matchmaking, and for whatever reason, and maybe I just suck at the game, I probably do, but like I can't get out of bronze, right? Why am I getting queued up in bronze with pros who are also bronze?
Mm-hmm.
Like that to me doesn't make any sense, because you should be able to do skill-based matchmaking without putting a color in front of my name.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. I agree with you on that one. You should be. So you're saying that. Well, first off, I'm saying
I should not be entering a lobby in bronze against Yachty.
But is it Yachty just starting to play rank for the first time of the season? You know, granted, beforehand he should have some type of previous history on his account that's saying, okay, you know, the new season started. You know, granted, you can go you can go play 5 games in your placement matches, but I don't even think, like, I've done all my placement matches and I probably just suck. But even regardless of how serious I take my placement matches, based off my history, I'm never getting placed outside of bronze. Or if I get silver 3, I'm lucky. You know,
I tried to start a hashtag for you. Get placed out of bronze.
Yo,
Colin and I were playing. We couldn't get out.
Yeah, no, it's like I can't. So I've accepted the fact that all the play, like, I love when the match queues are low because I get players from other tiers. But, you know, based off the people that quit, based off the teammates that I get, sometimes it's so hard for me to carry myself out that shit.
Oh yeah,
and enjoy it, right? It's so hard for me to enjoyingly carry myself out. And then when I really got into the mindset to do so, I was getting negative points on my rank. So I'm like, even if I drop 111 eliminations and I'm still getting negative points, I just need to not, because that's negative energy on me and I will fucking rage. All right?
I just rage because I just rage only when somebody quits, literally.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it like, I don't know what it is. Like, every time, like, I'm going hard and then someone quits, it's just like, goddamn.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what fill in a bot, please. Let him hit a shot.
Oh
yeah,
man.
but I would have brought a team full of bots to an event in Gears 2. Those bots were ridiculous.
What insane though? Back at you, literally.
Oh, yo, insane bot. Yo.
Yeah, those insane bots.
I said the same thing. I was like, can we just like put them on the, like, somebody leave? Can we just put in the same bot on lobby? Like, I don't care if he dies 4 times in a row and loses all his respawns, but I do know nobody is gonna push him. That's what I do know. Everybody will avoid him as he walks across the map, and I'm gonna be supporting him as well.
For real.
Bots just turn and they will beam you straight down. So
overkill.
Yeah, maybe. So in a pro league, you know, we talked a lot about, you know, stuff for teams to get better and mentalities. Who do you guys, you know, I want to know, what's the best way? And, you know, I ask it like this. we talked a little bit about the amateur scenes and amateur teams going into kind of Mexico City. If you guys had to give me two notable amateur teams going across the board, like who is somebody that we should be watching out for? Who is a team that do you feel like does not get enough love out there?
Let's go into Mexico.
Yeah, let's go into Mexico. Or playing, or not even that's going to Mexico. That's playing right now. They could just be playing in the Challenger Series every week, but they're not traveling. They could be as well.
The Rebels team.
Okay.
That's not Yachty's team. They won the last Challengers. I think it's Exist, Precision, Rocky,
Okay.
Cells, and I forgot the last one.
I think Smokey.
I'm not sure, but they're really good.
Okay.
Rocky's
They're a
team.
really good amateur team.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Rocky team exists.
No,
Rocky.
yeah, I need to look at them. I need to check them out.
Yeah, they won the last Challengers thing. They beat Soto's team.
I missed that. I'm gonna have to go watch the UMG rebroadcast that day. Yeah, I had a busy week this week. Yeah. What about anybody else on that list that you guys got?
I'm thinking right now.
I like Yachty's team a lot too.
Yeah, we're technically like right now we're still in our climb up to the top, where all the team changes that happen, we're gonna have to go through open bracket in Mexico, which is nothing new to me because the first time I ever placed third was through open bracket,
That's probably the best, but that's probably the best though, to be honest with you. Like,
Yeah, it warms you up.
like with your roster, just having the pressure of open bracket and you guys make it out, winner side or loser side. It might even be it's not the worst thing in the world you make it out the loser side, because technically if you advance all the way through winners bracket, your first loss comes in. You only get one loss in the tournament. That's something that I really do not sit right with me. That I could be undefeated in open bracket and get one loss and I'm out the tournament in champ bracket, versus all these pro league teams, they were losing. They could have lost matches all up in the group play. But even if they go perfect, they get a benefit by an extra placement in seeding, right? They get to skip around. Versus the losers bracket, you can lose in open bracket and still go into maybe even a more favorable side of the single elimination bracket. You're still playing the first round, but technically, if you do go undefeated, you just get more of a favorable matchup.
Oh yeah, like for me, I'm not really stressing like the open bracket. I'm confident in the team, and like you said, you get those early matches like going, and start clicking all in, and just the atmosphere, just soak it all in. And like I said, it's nothing new to me because as the 2 years ago, well, what was it, in 2017? I had to go through that process like with Kaid, Rushies, Keem, and Bobby Phenomenon at that particular time. So and we made it happen. So it's not a big deal for me.
Yeah. It's definitely hey man, I love the open bracket grind. Put some hair in your chest. Back in the day, me personally, I had to go through it all the time. Even very few events where I think it was not until Gears 2 where we actually had kind of like the top 16 didn't have to play in the open bracket. In Gears 2, we kind of went into this weird pooling system that they had then. I forgot how it was worked, but when we were there, man, that shit is crazy. I got first rounded one time. Not first rounded, but I lost my first match with my homies. We went there fucking around, and shit got serious real quick. When I tell you round one of losers bracket, I chugged that Red Bull, and we strapped in. We had to play split screen for 6 of the rounds. I was so happy. Yeah. Oh my God. I was so happy to get off split screen. Then we got to the full screen like the last 2 rounds, and we just were grinding.
You're definitely right though that MLG. I mean, obviously they did it much differently. So like the last event for Gears 2, for top 4 we played Vision, which was Dylan, Mr.
Fran,
Puff,
Wingos, and
Fran, and Jeremy, and Berger, who was coaching them. Berger, instead of having them, I don't remember what seed they had, but it was a semi-pro seed. But the way that he had done the math is that they would have lost at like the second or third round, most likely. So he intentionally dropped their seed and played through open bracket. So by the time we played Vision for top 4,
they go through the open bracket, didn't they?
Warmed up, dude. They were so warmed up, and we'd only played. I think we played Raw Talent that morning, and it was. I mean, nothing against Gabe, but
yeah.
It was a beatdown.
But
that was the only game that we played.
Yeah, you were able to do the bracketology a lot better back then, and I do remember now that you said it. did drop. They went to that open bracket and they grinded through it to get second. And
Yeah.
because I remember saying that it was two teams in Gears history who could have did it. It was Retaliation Dallas 2008, and then that Vision roster Orlando 2009 that both went to open bracket and to get second place finishes, and they were close to winning.
They beat us on.
No team in esports have done that through an open bracket, by the way. And those are the two closest teams. Maybe, we've seen a lot of second place finishes, but they may be the two of the closest teams to do it in history just based off how close the series was for them. So,
yeah, but with pool play and the way the Pro League is set up now, I mean, I feel like we have to, I mean, I guess you have the option for the cash option, I guess, if you're trying to leave the Pro League, but then also it's like, why would you do that? Because as you said, you play through pool play for 2 days, you could literally lose every single game and just not get a bye in the championship bracket. Like that's the only consequence to it.
Well, you say consequence, that's more of an advantage, no? Like to be able to get practice against the best teams, and you got a cushion to lose, right? Like it's a cushion there.
Noey, what was your record for pool play at San Diego?
2-1.
2-1.
I forgot who we played. Oh, we played Rise right at a pool play.
Okay. Yeah. And they beat Rise. And they beat Rise for top 16. For top 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when it comes down to Mexico, we got to get those. I know it's on the list. Like, I hate that you guys at home didn't get a chance to see the elimination matches going down on the side station, and we was not able to look into them. But like, I wanted people to see the Rise versus NRG match, EU's Finest versus Regal Reserve. I think the Hive and Rife match, that wasn't on main stage, was it?
That was on main stage.
It was on main stage? Okay, that was on main stage. All right. And but it was other matches throughout those side station games that was good. And I wish Lisa, Ribs, and Ryan.
That show was on side stations.
Yeah, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I wish that the entire desk had the ability at that time to be able to look in those matches. It was intended, but I will say that it was a bug on that update. When the spectators was joining the game, like things were like blurry, and that was what jacked it up, and we couldn't do it. So Mexico, that should be there.
Yeah, we played Fire and Ice round 1 in San Diego, or not round 1, like round 1 of championship bracket, and Charlie's headset wasn't working. We couldn't hear him the entire time. We also, the bracket, the way it was seeded, they took our seeds from before the tournament, which was super confusing to me because what's the point of us playing through an open bracket to not get reseeded? Right. So then I'm there preparing our team to play Free Burger, and then they're like, "You're playing Fire and Ice on Feature Station B," and I was like, "Excuse me?"
Yeah, because I think, and that's what Jip was mentioning on the episode that we had last week, the previous week, that the seeds were jacked up coming out of open, like they were all messed up.
It was like if you were ready, the way that I viewed it at the time was like, oh, if you're ready, like let's go. You're gonna play the next ready team. But that's not actually how it went down. I spoke to Alex from PGL afterwards because I was like, did we just play the wrong team? Like, there's no way that my math was that far off. And then he like went in the back and got some paperwork that he showed me, and it was basically that they took our seed based on challenger points coming into the event to seed us into the championship bracket. So instead
not your open bracket performance of that day.
Right.
That's whack.
I know. I was
okay. That's whack.
But it reached a point like, well, we couldn't do anything about it. We'd already lost to Fire and Ice. The bracket had already moved forward. So
that's so whack because like for champion, but for competitive integrity, it's all about the tournament that day. The 4 teams coming out of the winner side go to a specific location, right? And it should be. And then the 4 teams on the loser side is going to go to a specific location. Now, based off of, if you want to group those 4 teams, and then after you get the 4 teams from the winner side, if you want to go look at challenger points at that point, cool. Okay? Or you can go off round wins or whatever, however you want to do it. But sometimes those 4, but actually, because what happens is that those 4 sides just need to have a specific location already guaranteed of where they're going. That should be predetermined.
That's how I viewed it. It said LB.3 plays Free Burger, and we came out of losers bracket, and then the 3rd section of the losers bracket.
Yeah, so that's how that should be.
We don't play Free Burger, but it said we had the 3rd seed based on challenger points.
Okay.
They have a breakdown though on the handbook. They're labeled it as tiers, like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and then so on.
Yeah.
And then every tier is different, and that's how they determine seating coming out of open bracket. So I'm not too sure exactly like every single detail, but it's definitely on the handbook.
Okay, yeah, we'll have a close eye on that one going into Mexico and how that's going to be done, and maybe even get some clarity on that a little bit early on so people can know. Because I do think that that's part of the experience, right? Especially for our teams that are coming in taking seriously, our teams that got coaches hired and they're preparing for this event. That when they get there and they get slotted into their open bracket, from that point on, they should be able to physically see the route. They should be able to physically see their journey. Okay,
Right.
this is our section. These are the 4 to 8 teams that are in our side of the bracket over here that we can be out scouting in the open bracket. If we were to progress on through and go to the winner side, these are the teams in the this is the part of the championship bracket we'll be on, and these are the teams that we may play based off their current performance in the group play. So a good coach should be able to do all of that and get their team that one-up advantage, because those are the advantages in which I love to talk about. Like, I want to give a team credit, a coach credit, for saying that he did that extra preparation and that helped equate it to the win. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to say that in a whole weight. Yeah. So yeah, it get there. It get there. Okay. What? So my next question for you guys is that I want to ask you, that what teams out there do you think is not performing up to par? I feel like that's kind of like it's not much of a negative question, but if you guys want to answer, you can. If not, I also want to know, if it's anything that you guys want to say, anything that you guys want to get off your chest, or any topic just in gears or in the league. You guys want to, call anybody, whatever it may be. I want to give you guys the floor to say some piece on that. So whoever wants to go first.
You mean like pro teams?
It could be any team. Hell, any team you want to. It could be pro teams, non-pro teams.
I'm not really sure.
Say it.
Or just anything in gears. That you guys.
I got something
wanna
to
talk
say.
about.
Yeah, like for
Okay.
me in particular, like I actually like that there isn't like a complete dominant team as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
Yeah,
feel like almost any on a good day, any other team could beat each other. Like even NRG, like they were extremely dominant in Gears 4.
Yeah.
And now they've been losing here and there. Obviously they're still great players, they're champions and stuff like that. But I feel like now it's more of like a little bit more of an even playing
Why
field
is
where
that?
just
I'm not.
matchups.
Yeah, it's the matchups and also maybe the way the game is played, like with the lives. If you're not having a good day with slaying, and you're not clutching up, you could lose really fast. It's first to 5 rounds now. It's not first to seven.
Yeah,
You need
So
more. You need more consistency now, huh?
yeah, a lot more. You can't afford to have like an off day or like a off map or something. Momentum's a thing.
Yeah.
So I just feel like everybody's like pretty close together. It's just who's gonna put in that extra time.
It's a lot different when you don't have an infinite respawns, right? It's a lot different when you're playing
yeah.
more of a single elimination type of game. So I like the life bank for that reason. And I just been my whole, like, these last few years, I just been trying to get back to the vibe of execution. We don't have to go to execution, right? Okay, guys, we don't have to play it, but I do want the full vibe of it. I want the full vibe of people valuing their lives, of Gears being a tactical, gory third-person cover shooter. I do want to get the pace down for us to follow all the little cool things that people do when it comes down to nade placement, rotations, flanks, being sneaky on the map. Like, I miss all of that. And I feel like our spectators kind of getting to the point where we can all see it, but the players have lost that mentality because of the game that we've been playing over the last 3 years, and how the entire community plays Gears. Because by Gears 4 was a fucking game changer across the board, because the speed of that game at the time just trained the community. I say train the entire community to play a certain way and how to value themselves. So that's my take on that.
Yeah, my boss was streaming the qualifier when we were playing 2 weeks ago, and he had it up on a tablet at work, and he literally texted me saying, "This is not Gears of War."
He didn't say
It's
that.
so fast. No, he did. No, he really did. He was like, or no, he said, "This is not the Gears of War I remember." That's
Okay.
exactly what he said. And I feel like for people who don't watch Gears of War and they just, let's say they put on the Wreck vs Hive game from the other day, they're gonna have absolutely zero clue what is going on. The only people that are going to be watching Gears esports in its current state are people who know the game, who love the game, or even hate the game. But the only people that will stay and watch these matches are people who know what's going on. And I know that when it's like a major event like San Diego or any of them, that like you and Colin and other people definitely try to explain some of the rules as the day goes on, and like you have to respect it because that's a tough thing to break down in such a short period of time.
And we always try to get the new viewer.
Exactly, and I wish that there was an easier way to do it, like even just with UI elements in the game. Like I really don't I don't have any suggestions, right? But I know that when I try to get people who don't watch Gears of War to watch our matches, like they tune out within 20 minutes.
Yeah, I can tell you that I've tried to I've given a lot of opinions on the spectator and the UI from that sense to be able to help the fans understand it more, because the lens in which they were looking at it from beforehand didn't have a lot of information, and you relied on the casters and the talent to set the story and to get you there, right? And it's only so many tools in which they had to work with themselves. So the main reason I love the San Diego build was because we got the mini map, and so the mini map was so key in that new layout, and that was only a fraction of the changes that had to come down to the spectator, but I was happy in which we got it. So that's super important. But that outside of it, as we kind of said before, I just Gears is a different game than most, and it takes a little bit more to kind of learn and to watch, and that's what we love about it, right? But fans love, like when we were back, like that was the beauty about the just the single elimination and slower pace, is that people watched it even if they didn't play it. They watched it. Like Call of Duty players watched it. They loved the Gears teams. They loved Gears. A lot of them played it, and they loved watching the game. And that it hasn't gotten back to that in a long. It hasn't gotten back to what it used to in those days. And we're getting there, and it's an uphill climb to get there. And I know sometimes we feel like we can make 10 steps forwards and go 9 steps back. So, but we gotta we gotta know that at least we got 1 step forward, right? But the help is there, and they're working on it. It's just a time thing, right? At the end, because I feel like you guys feel on a lot of stuff, and for me, I just know that I have a different position where I get to talk to more people more in depthly, and I'm happy for that. And I just know sometimes it's just a time thing, and it's just to have patience, But I know as the players who play the game, that some of the things that you guys are saying, you guys feel like y'all been saying it for 4 years, and it's like, all right, here we go again, right? When does it change? So
yeah, I mean, to me, Gears is more than Gears. Like, this community means so much more to me than like a lot of the like newer guys would understand. And this is not like a shot at you, Noey, or anything like that. It's just like this community and certain people in it literally saved my life at one point. So I'll always be loyal to it, right? And we've been through the trenches. We've done the 3 a.m. semifinal match at NJ Halo, right? We've done the community ran events with Burger and Barbosa at Hype Station, right? And just to see almost like them put a wall up. And I'm not talking about the community and no specific developer either. It's just like, it seems like as a whole, our voices feels like are not heard. Right. And to me, it doesn't make any sense to listen to I guess the majority of the players are Game Pass players or casual players. And I understand that, you want to keep that, but wouldn't you rather listen to the people that discovered the invisible ink on Gears 2, right? Like the people who are going to exploit your game and put the time into it and literally want to play this game 10 hours a day, but won't.
It's levels to the Gears players, right? It's levels to the people who understand the game. And you can have a different community out there that says, oh my God, I love the fast pacedness, or I love this and that. And then you can look at the other guy, and then sometimes my question is that let's compare the histories, right? Let's compare the hours. Let's compare at the level in which you played the game, and how seriously you take it. Is it just a video game to you? Are you just playing it casually with your friends and just having a good time, like playing it like video games are? Or are you, or how serious are you going playing it? Now, I agree that, playing casually and having fun is awesome, but I think that you could still do it on a slower game. You know what I'm saying? I think that you're still gonna
Right.
have a good time with your friends on a slower tactical game, if not a better one. You're still gonna have a good time, but you know, but when it comes down to that player, it's just I always say that do they know better? What Gears have they played? That's what I always want to know. When somebody gives me their opinion on Gears, I want you to list. Hey, hi, John here. I started in Gears 1. 2000, not 2007, but more towards 2009, transition to Gears 2. Give me the exact reason, the day when you entered, and I could be like, okay, I know what he's had experience with. Because if you come to me and say, hey, I kind of got Gears 3 towards the back end of it when it was on sale for about $10 at GameStop, or when it was free on Xbox. I got it at the end when it's a Gears 4, but I really love the game. Like, if you came in at that point, I know that you haven't experienced certain levels of Gears yet.
Yeah. Definitely, it's different levels, and it's the core of Gears of War too. Like, Gears of War 1, 2, and 3. It's a lot different from 4 and 5. So it's like you have from a person that has been there since 2006, 2007. He knows every single level there's been. And you always look back and reminisce, like, oh damn, I used to love this. I don't love this anymore. Like, everybody has a different perspective, but going forward, like obviously we just want to make Gears great again, I guess you could say. Like overall, like I still enjoy the game because I'm really passionate and I love the game, but there's a lot of things I've been unhappy about. But it's a work in progress.
That's
They
probably
yeah,
that's probably how the Epic Forum feels about us. Like, yo, can somebody just make how the TC Forums feels? Can somebody just make these pro players make Gears great again hats? Okay, goddamn. Okay, okay, these MAGA hats.
I mean, like they've been stepping forward in the right direction in the sense, like, all right, the first to 5, the rounds, taking the drop shots off the home hills, the boom shots and all that stuff. Like, it's been progressing, but it just has to be in a faster rate where it could be done. But it's I think it's too slow right now. I just wish things could be a lot better.
Too slow as far as things changing.
Yeah, like the updates.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
And we saw the developer streams. We know that they do got a small team over there. I'm happy for. I will say this. I am happy for the amount in which they do listen and an amount in which they do share things. Because let's not forget, we never had them saying anything before, right? We never had them sharing anything. So as they get into their flow. And they've already said that they're going to be better about how they translate the patch notes to the community and how they put that stuff out there. So I'm happy for that as well. So they're human, they're learning. People can say all day that, oh man, they just care about the skins, or they just care about this. They just trying to make some money. I can tell y'all for a fact that they really are trying to like make multiplayer the best of what it is, and keeping people on the game is much is a priority.
Yeah.
And they are very passionate about the job in which they do every day. They show up to work, right? They show up to work and get stuff done and knock out their list. And rather if you guys feel that or not, I'm telling you that I feel it from them and it's there.
I feel that way. I appreciate the coalition because you're talking about a studio that actually interacts with the community. Like back when Epic was around, like even though people enjoyed the game back then, they never spoke to us.
They never spoke to us. They just did their thing and we dealt with it. They did their thing and we had to live with it.
Yeah. So like that is definitely a difference. Like the coalition, they fly out people, they do the protest testing. We never had that before, so you have to be grateful.
I need to let everybody in the chat know we came from a time, right, where we had a whole circuit for the game in which we all say we love the most, Gears 2. All right, and for this competitive circuit, we could not play on LAN unless you did the craziest hack at home to get LAN settings. LAN and online was different because Epic introduced server-side updates, and they kept updating the game however they pleased, but LAN was a completely different game. So we literally played two different versions of Gears, where you played a version of Gears with your friends online, and you played a different version in scrims. That was the entire season.
San Diego.
Yeah, you had to unplug your Ethernet cord, load up the game, pass the menu load screen, get into the menus, and then sign in. Like, it was a workaround. So we were in some shittier situations than we was now. So that I just always gotta remind people of how far we have come, even though sometimes y'all feel like we ain't come far at all.
Yeah, I spoke to Dana at San Diego, and I mean, it's not like they don't want improved communication, right? I think they just haven't figured out yet a good way to collect feedback.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Twitter. I don't even bother complaining about the game on Twitter. I think A, because I'm not a player, right?
Yeah.
And B, just because it's annoying, right? And I respect Joe. Joe's criticisms on Twitter, like they're a lot, but they're meaningful.
Yeah.
They're not attacks. I mean, every now and this is not even just him, but people are like they're not even listening, like no one cares. And I don't think that that's necessarily true because they do listen, but like if you're going to approach it in an aggressive way, they're obviously not going to like.
Yeah,
you're not gonna get positive responses from that.
I feel like the pro players, like, and I think me and King was talking about, like, they need, like, I want, like, a council, like, pro player representation, right? Like, 2, 3 people, rather if it's Joe, whatever, like, they need to say, hey, if these guys right here is representing our opinion and how we feel, and get behind them on that, right? Because a lot of what happens is a lot of people say multiple different things and they say things in different aspects and everybody from the coalition pulls that together, but I would rather like 1 or 2 people kind of like represent that. And I will say that at times I do speak a lot for them behind the scenes and try to help them out, but at the same time I still do not understand the level of the things in which pro players go through because I'm not in that mix like I used to be. Before I used to cast and still scrim top teams all the time, right? I'm like, all right, I go home, scrim the whole weekend, then I go cast. And so I was able to do that, but nowadays, I don't got a squad to play with. Hey, if y'all ever need one for scrims, hit me up anytime. Anybody need one for scrims, DM me. I'm there. Okay, I'm one of the best teammates you can have. I might bring a different dynamic to the team that you guys are like, damn, why did he? I didn't know you could small talk like that or something. Who knows? But I'm down for it. And also, I love playing teams because I love being able to cast and talk like on an individual 1v1 level about how I feel about fighting certain players. Because I learned a lot, just fighting Gears players, bro. Everybody really has a different play style. And I don't know if you guys are able, like the players are able to tell when they're in scrims or they just run around getting kills, but everybody you fight, man, shit, they I don't know. Gears when it comes down to those 1v1 shotgun fights, the characters' movement, their patterns, the way that they tilt, it really is like a chess match within a chess match in a sense, within this game, and that's why we all love it, So shotgun fights are everything.
If definitely like the more you play like each other, right? Like in scrims every day, like you could see the person's character and know how he's gonna play it. Like at one particular time, you'd be like, "Oh, I'm playing against this kid. I know what he's probably gonna do. Either he's gonna be really patient, or he's gonna reaction shot and try to be fancy."
Even when they try to fake you, right? Every player tries to fake out another player a different way. Some people will like try to fake like they're running and then just turn around and try to catch you as soon as you start your roadie run. Other players will dip off left and right and kind of like jiggle their character to make you misroll or fake you out a different direction. Like everybody has these little things that they do, but that's why that's one of the reasons I love Gears because of those engagements.
Yeah, the little details like at the highest level, you catch on to those things. Like it's one thing like of reacting to the team's strat or whatever, but when you start reacting to individual players, like in 1v1 situations, 2v1s and stuff like that, that's like what sets you apart as well too. Like in a team fight or just as a whole.
Yeah. No, most definitely. Most definitely. So, we're coming up to, I think about like an hour and 20 or so for this one podcast. The last episode, which I got to put up, we talked about for 2.5 hours. I had Joe on the show. Me and him chopped it up. we chopped it up. I mean, I got to put that one on. But as soon as I'm done with this one, I'm clipping both of these and I'm putting them on Spotify. And I'm saving the audio files because it only takes like 2 seconds for it to get up. So if you guys missed it, it's all good. Just be waiting for my tweet. But I feel like we had a great conversation today. I feel like when we initially did the show, I felt like I could have just did a single show with Noey because I feel like I could talk to Noey. I want to learn so much about Noey and those Hive boys because I don't get a chance to talk to them like that all the time at events and stuff. So I feel like I could have did a whole show on that one. But we're gonna work with that. I'm just happy that you guys came and the community is here and we are just kind of talking Gears. I love the conversation and I love us having a little spot to have it. And make sure you guys Ash's got his podcast. Other players are doing stuff. Anybody start a podcast you want me on it? Hey, let me know. Any of that I definitely come through. Shoot, but You know,
Thank you for
any
having
last
us,
yeah,
dude.
no, it was all good.
Thank you, bro.
Yo, any last minute thoughts for you guys? And, any questions in the chat? Now is the time. Now is the time for questions because I'm looking at it. If you guys want to put anything out there, but give y'all anything else on your mind? Any shout outs? Great. You can go first.
Any what?
I was saying any last minute thoughts on your mind or any shout outs.
No, I kind of agree with what you said. I feel like you three of us stole the show. No, we didn't really get to say a whole lot. I don't really know.
No. Y'all was all great. You guys were all great. You know what I'm saying? Y'all was good. Yachty?
Now, for me, I mean, like I said, man, just look out for my team in Mexico, and I'll give a shout out to Rebel Esports. It's a new home, the new organization. Follow them on Twitter, and like I said, man, you'll see me back in Mexico.
Got you. Noey, what about you?
Not really. Shout out to this guy that DM'd me said give me a shout out, John 2 Henry. At John 2 Henry DM me.
Shout out to John 2 Henry out there. Okay, slide in the DMs, getting his shout out. You done slide in mine for a shout out. Damn. Okay, I check him here and there. Noe, going into Mexico, who you looking forward to playing the most? I do want to know that. Who you looking forward to playing the most?
Estra.
Who?
Definitely Estra.
SR.
Estro.
Oh, Estro. Okay, Estro. Yeah. You want that rematch on their turf, huh?
Yeah.
You say y'all gonna come back for it. Yo, who was the toughest player to play from that team? Was it Fearsley? Well, I'm not giving you an answer. It looked like Fearsley was kind of tough, but who was the toughest player?
I'm not gonna lie, it was just like all of them. It wasn't really one individual player like doing that good.
What made them great? Was it the teamwork?
Just like wolf packing. It wasn't like a play style we were used to playing against.
Interesting. You know what? You actually make a valid point because I swear, like looking at their matches, I swear they were like hugged to each other's hip the entire time. Like you saw one,
like,
it was three in the area. It was three in the area, and typically, when some players come out of spawn, sometimes you doing some things on your own and you trying to get to a squad, but you run into one, you best believe you turn that corner, there's gonna be 2-3 there. You better get to your teammate first.
With two Botox at hand.
Yo, right? Staring at you, not missing a shot. Pressure.
As soon as you throw your stun, literally your head is cracked.
Fucking pressure, man. Oh my god. That's what's up.
I do just want to say one thing though. I just want to say good luck to Noey tomorrow, and that we'll see him one more time over the next 5 weeks, and then.
Oh yeah, y'all gotta play each other tomorrow.
We're playing you guys. Oh, okay.
Yo, Tidy said he gonna smack y'all up. I saw him in the chat. He I don't know if Nody can speak on that, but Tidy said it's gonna be real quick work. He came to talk some trash.
I mean, we're gonna give it our all, right? If we lose, it's a learning experience. If we win, GG's.
GG's, yo. That's all you can do. Hey, thinking like this, going to it, y'all don't got much to lose. Y'all the underdogs. But if you guys do piece up on Hive, then hey, I'm gonna gas y'all up. I'm gonna be on the show. I'm gonna be casting the match, so I'm gonna wild out. Hell, it was what was it? It was 2 round 9s, 5-4 against Parallax. Hive had to clutch it up in the end. Parallax choked it away. They could be 0-1, but so y'all might get an opportunity. No, you got anything to say on that? No, you it's gonna be GG's as always.
Yeah, she's on the match tomorrow.
Yeah, against No Mercy.
Yeah, good luck.
Say something positive. If it had to be one player on the team,
Gio.
Gio.
Yeah.
Gio's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There we go. Looking out for Gio. That's what I like to hear. What about you, Great? If one player on Hive that y'all looking out for, who is it gonna be?
Man, all 5 of them are gonna fly at us tomorrow. I can't just pick one of them.
Oh yeah.
Their play style is different.
Yeah, no, it is. They all 5 players in that team can really go off. They definitely can. Yeah. But that's the thing. Energy power is only as strong as the container in which is in, and that team has a lot of energy and has a lot of talent. And it takes great leadership and a coach like Crazy Train and Hefe to bring that together, because those are 2 of the players that pretty much kind of make those shots on y'all team. Is it Noey? I want to make sure that I am getting that right. I feel like those are like y'all 2 IGLs there.
Crazy and Jeff?
Yeah.
A lot of people think that, but it's mostly like Tidy and me.
Is it? Let's see. That's the
Mm.
information I need to know. If you ever hear me saying some stuff like that, my DMs is open. I got anytime I say something crazy about Rec, Fatal's like, "Hey fam, this is what it is." I'm like, "My bad. Thank you for clarifying it for me." Okay, and I feel like that for all pro teams. Like if y'all ever hear anything like that on the broadcast where they keep saying yada yada this and that, then hey, cool. Let me know, and I'll make sure that that's translated. I do my best to make sure I'm highlighting that, but I will say that 4v4 execution versus 5v5 escalation, it is difficult to give love to all 5 players on the team for what they're doing in the game when it's so much action is happening. You get what I'm saying? So it's sometimes hard. Sometimes, I will even say for me, I miss the little things that players do to equate to a win, but just know that I'm always looking. I'm always looking to give love. If I see it, I'm gonna say it. So, but that's good to know. You and Tidy out there, kind of making those plays and making stuff happen. But regardless of the fact, is that you guys are a great team, and I'm looking forward to y'all matchup. I don't know which time is it on the schedule, but
4? Is it 4?
It's 1:30 Pacific time. So
okay, so it's the second game. So it's the second game of the night. Or the day. All right, cool. So yeah, I'm gonna be casting y'all games tomorrow, folks. Gears Pro League live tomorrow, 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern. We're going a day early because of the Super Bowl, and we don't want anybody to miss that Super Bowl action. Okay, so much love on that. Check that out. If you guys, let them know where can they follow you guys on social media quickly. Great.
MLG great on everything.
Yachty.
At Sleepytime PM.
Noey.
At Lil_Noey.
Those are all Twitters or mostly all socials? All Twitter names.
Twitter,
that's my Twitter and Instagram.
Okay, got you. Twitter and Instagram. Yeah.
Twitter and Twitch for me.
And y'all can follow me on God Blaze. Give me love on Instagram. I love Instagram better than Twitter. I ain't gonna hold y'all up. I love Instagram way better than Twitter. But Twitter, Twitter is Twitter, man. It's I can't believe it's free, right? So much comedy.
The internet's undefeated.
The internet is undefeated. Okay, but much love for you guys from checking out the HotSeat wherever you guys are watching. Make sure you guys give it a like, follow, subscribe. I appreciate all the love. Until next time, till episode 9. I appreciate you guys. Peace.